Hey everyone, this is Mr. Isometric, and in this video we will learn about how you can make your game object inside Blender follow a certain path, and that path will be made up of a curve, mainly a Bezier curve, but you can use any sort of curves you want. So yeah, let's get started. So before we start the tutorial, I'll just quickly make a path for our object to follow. Okay, so now that we are at the last stage of our this path making, so let's just select this both of them and point of the curve and just press F. So after that you have your path over here. Okay, so the final tweakings are done, and then we want our object to be following this path, but considering the worst case scenario, you have actually moved your curve like this, and then just applied your rotation. You have your origin at the weird point in the 3D space of this Bezier curve, because this point matters whenever you will use something like a follow path constraint, so you actually don't apply it on that. Okay, so now what we will do is we will make our cart which will follow this curve, so I'll just fast forward that as well. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done modeling my cart, and the reason why I made it like this is because we have to actually we will be actually able to watch and visualize the front position of this cart. So if you just go into a local axis, and as you can see over here, the y position the front position of this cart is pointing towards the negative y, as you can see over here. So what we will do next is Control A and then rotation and scale. Let's apply them. Now let's add our follow path on the game object, and then we will select our Bezier curve. So as you can see, it directly snaps on over there, and after this point you actually should not touch the rotation, and you should never apply the rotation because it will just mess thing up, and then you again have to make your cart or something which is following the curve. Okay, so now as we are on the offset 0 and our front is, let me just disable that, and as you can see, as I said earlier, our front is -y locally, so I'll just enable that again, and then you have to select forward axis as -y. So after doing that, our up axis is z, as you can see. Okay, so now if I just move this offset value ahead, my object moves on that curve. So but one thing is that it is moving in the opposite direction, so first thing we should do is again make it 0 offset value, and then let's choose the y, and then as you can see, it is now moving in the forward direction as we want. So yep, now what we will do is, there are three options available over here, and those three options are like fixed positions. So in the fixed position, your whole curve is margined, or you can say clamped, between 0 and 1 value. So as you can see, my offset value doesn't go lower than 0, and it goes from 0 to 1. So this slider over here now has mapped your path from 0 to 1. So that's what fixed position does, and if you just remove it, now you can move it n number of times. So let's just make this offset value 0 again, and then the second option is over here is the curve radius. So if I just select my curve, and then if I just Alt S and then just increase its scale, as you can see its scale is increasing. So what this option does is, if you select this curve radius, and then if I just move my cart in the front. As you can see, my cart size increases wherever the curve size is increased, and then it decreases again. So with this weird constraint, you can actually increase the size of your game object which is following. So Alt S, which is shrink, so you can just shrink it down, something like that. Okay, so now it should not affect. Okay, so if you just disable this curve radius, then it won't affect its scale. And then the last option over here is follow the curve, and then if you select this, as you can see, it is facing the curve, and then I can just now animate this offset value. So let us select Y over here, and as you can see, it is now following my curve. Let me just zoom it into there. Okay, so as you can see, now it is following my curve in the right direction, but you will notice something, that it is following it towards the origin position. So to troubleshoot this, you can either change your origin from the center over there to bottom, or you can just drag this in the normal direction of your Z. So something like that, just eyeball it, and then you're just good to go. It will just follow now the curve, and do make sure that your curve doesn't have a way to sharp turns like this. So if you have, then it will just look weird. As you can see, it does follow it and it is working. So that's how you make your object follow a path or a curve. And then I would not recommend doing this, but do not you can actually click over here, animate path button. So what it will does is it will just add some kind of offset, constant offset, but I will recommend you to not use this animate path. Instead, what you can do is you can type in a driver which is hashtag frame, and then for each value of frame, as you can see, when I am on the frame number 4, a offset value is 4, so I can just now animate this and it's moving. So you can also do one thing, is that if you want this to be slower, then just divide it by some number such as 30. Let's go back and let's play it. So now as you can see, it is moving really slow, and then you can just animate this as per your needs. I'll divide it by 10 maybe. Okay, it's a way too low. Let's do it by twice. Okay, so now its speed is been decreased twice, and then as you can see, it is now going in the forward direction. And just to increase the length, you can increase the length of your timeline to increase the animation length. Okay, so that's how you use your object to follow your curve. And then I think I forgot to mention that this influence button over here, it's just how much your curve influences your object. Yeah, so I think, yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and hope it helped. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe this video if you liked it. Okay, so yeah, bye bye.